Hello everyone, I'm Naman. I'm a student at Pilani and a member at Anchor, which is the Gender and Sexuality Cell of Pilani University, named the Pilani, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 campuses. So let me begin by mentioning a bit about Anchor. So Anchor is the first of its kind, BitSim's only group for queer questioning and supporting members. It was founded way back in 2012 to raise awareness about LGBTQ+ issues and has since evolved to cover a wide range of issues pertaining to gender and sexuality, hence becoming the Gender and Sexuality Cell led by Bitten students. So ours is an attempt to start a dialogue across the campuses about gender normalities and sexuality, which regrettably still is a taboo subject. And it's not exactly a sign of progress culture that we should expect and promote. So Anchor is a safe space. It is an active listening platform for queer students. We provide a forum for BIT students and alumni to talk about their experiences, their artworks. They can share their opinions, anything related to gender or sexuality. So I'll talk about the initiatives that Anchor has taken over the past. So we have also had various sessions with people from different industries and professions to get better perception about the community, their concerns, and what are the ways we can target. For example, you have just a lawyer, doctor, educator, corporate, different professions you have taken so that to understand different perspectives. Moving on, coming specific to BITS events, we have had two campaigns. One is BITS with Pride, and other was BITS Engendered. So the Bedford Pride was one we had in a Pride month. Over 60 plus clubs from different campuses of Beds. So they participated in this event. They posted a story or post to show their solidarity towards LGBT community and their support towards Anchor. It was a very uh, happening scene when about 50 plus 60 plus clubs came forward and showed that yes, we support the community, we understand the issues. And the second campaign that we had was Myths and Gender. So, in order to break gender stereotypes, what we did was we challenged students to break gender norms in their own capabilities. So, what we observed was that various students, from wearing saris while singing, to doing makeup reels, to doing skincare, all these things, students came forward with their own ideas, so as to show that yes, we do not have to live with certain gender norms. And it was very wholesome to see that okay, students want to break those norms in the bits. That was in the January of 2021. And then Anchor has taken several initiatives and efforts to work towards achieving this goal. Most recently, one of the biggest achievements as an organization was when we managed to support our institute into becoming one of the first Indian universities to explicitly include the protection of gender and sexual minorities in their institute policies. As part of our initiatives, our Vice Chancellor, our Director Sir, and various faculties across the campuses have acknowledged Anchor and addressed students on LGBTQ issues. Moving forward, highlighting the importance of allies, we have created a guide on how to be an ally to LGBT+ youth. The guide aims at being a comprehensive resource for all those who want to learn about how to support the community, what steps they can take. So if anyone who wishes to support the community but are not sure how to begin, they can refer to this resource. It talks about different aspects and also provide other resources one can refer to further understand about the community and ways to help them. So, like I mentioned, Beth recently released a statement of commitment on gender and sexual diversity. So, taking note of the rampant sexism and queerphobia that exists in our society as well as Beth's, what Anchor did is we conducted a series of university level surveys over the past couple of years. We had three surveys. First was on the Brazilian attitude towards alternate genders and sexualities. Second was on queer community and mental health. And the third was on gender issues on campus, focusing primarily on women and other gender minorities. What we observed was that survey uncovered disturbing trends of unreported cases, bullying, lack of understanding towards issues, and motivated by the results, the Anchor team prepared a formal report of the survey outcome alongside a detailed explanation of the results and their implications. So, after the survey, it seemed clear that in order to break these cycles of degradation and abuse, we would necessarily require a degree of involvement by the institute itself. So Anchor team carefully curated a list of suggestions, and we presented it towards institute and to our vice chancellor, to other directors of the campuses, in order to facilitate the execution of the involvement in the sensitization of the community, including students as well as faculty. So what these suggestions had was they primarily highlighted the need for compulsory workshops, seminars for both students and faculty, as well as introduction of explicit guidelines protecting students on the discrimination basis of gender and sexuality. Our former Vice Chancellor Sir and Director Sir were very supportive of Anchor. They heard us, they checked our suggestions, and the process of these official guidelines have been happening for a while. There were discussions that happened with gender champions too, and we had to ensure that these were not same as anti-ragging or ICC guidelines issued by UGC. So this involved their lawyer to make sure a formal document is created for explicit guidelines. I'll show the guidelines what had. So it mainly had a glossary section at the start, which talked about what different terms are, including what bullying is, what harassment is, what cisgender, transgender, what different sexual and gender terminologies mean, so as to educate the BITSEM community, including the staff members. It had about 10 points on how the BITS is committed to improving the situation on campuses. It mentioned that, or it first recognized that yes, all human beings are free and equal in dignity and rights. It recognizes that all sexual orientations and gender are entitled to full enjoyment. It further recognizes that yes, discrimination, violence, and harassment do take place for the gender identity and sexual orientation minorities, and that BITS is committed to improve the situation. It also mentions various guidelines on how it goes about improving that. So it tells that we will have various programs, policies, which may be revised through regular intervals. It tells that yes, the mental health of students of non-normative gender and sexual minorities are likely to be impacted as they learn more about themselves. So they also are committed to provide counseling through trained mental health professionals on campus, which are specifically equipped to deliver psychological and emotional health centered on gender and sexuality, including issues of gender dysphoria. Further, it says that we can have various programs, gender and sexual sensitization as part of the orientation, which was another suggestion that Anchor team gave. So when the new batch comes, it's important to address this issue in the formal orientation session itself. And this guidelines explicitly mention that in front of students and parents, in every academic year, such programs will be held. So these were the guidelines. One can refer BITS website or can go through Anchor social media pages to check what do they exactly say. There are so many more points than what is presented to you. You can refer the official guidelines, which also further tells that we can involve committees like anti-ragging committee and ICC to make sure that all these guidelines come into place. So, lastly, for future plans of Anchor, are working with gender champion teams. We are supporting the institute in the implementation of the initiatives that have taken place. We had started a talk series with faculties across campuses who have done research in these specific areas. We are creating support groups to make sure that students are heard. There are people who are there to listen to them. We are allotting mentors. We are expanding our reach to make sure that every student gets the support they need. And we will continue to spread awareness and educate the students as well as faculty of an institute on the same. Thank you. So that was about Anchor and myself. And I hope other college students can learn from these methodologies and they can implement in their own college.